and welcome to Let's Talk HR with Dr. Deneen, the talk show that spotlights HR professionals and talks about all things HR. If you haven't noticed, the world of human resources is changing faster than ever before. We have new technologies, shifting workplace expectations, evolving legal considerations, and increased organizational scrutiny. And this is changing the landscape of HR and a new set of rules for HR and HR professionals. In this episode, we are exploring the new rules of HR. That's in AI, DEI, and defensive decision making. We'll discuss how artificial intelligence is transforming the workplace, how diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives continue to evolve, and why HR professionals must be prepared to make sound, defensible decisions in an ever-increasing, challenging environment. Today, my guest is none other than McGaha, lead counsel, FedEx Express, and he's going to share with us his insights, expertise, and practical strategies to help us navigate today's workplace realities and prepare for what is ahead. Let's talk about it. How are you doing, Gabe?
I'm doing fantastic. How are you, Dr. Deneen?
I am doing fine. I am so excited to have you here today and to talk about the topic we're going to talk about. But you've been in this arena for how many years?
Gosh, I guess around going on 2 decades. It's hard to believe, but it's been about 18 years.
About 18 years, and we've ran into each other in our professions over those years, and I cannot wait for us to talk about it. So we were talking about the changing landscape of HR and what's happening today. And so we're going to dive right in. AI is changing everything.
Yes.
So here's the big question. Should companies create AI policies for the new and up and coming changing world?
Well, usually when lawyers are asked questions, Dr. Deneen, the answer is it depends.
It depends.
But the answer to this question is even shorter. The answer is yes.
Yes.
Definitively. It is very important in today's ever-changing environment for workplaces to have policies that instruct employees how, when, and to what extent HR AI policies should be used. Again, every employment outfit should have a policy. It doesn't have to be an extensive policy. It can be a very short policy, but the employees need to know the parameters and guardrails around AI usage.
Okay, so what you're saying that it's important that companies have at least create one, right?
Yes.
And the extent, it depends, as the counselors say, it depends on how extensive you want it to be. Right?
Yeah, yes. So, for example, most companies have, at least larger companies, have closed AI.
Okay.
What that basically means is you have an internal AI tool that is constantly learning based on information that it's gathering from employees within your organization.
Okay.
You can teach and train this AI so that it can provide more and more accurate and reliable information to its employees when it's prompted to do so. Those are the safest and I think, again, the most advisable AI tool for, again, larger companies. It is a little more dangerous when you are using an open AI or a public AI tool like ChatGPT.
Okay, well, hold it right there, because I want to go back to this closed AI. So this closed AI means that the company owns it, right? Well, not really own it, but they have adopted it as their tool.
Yes.
They regulate it. They train it on what it should do, right?
Yes.
So that's the closed AI, and that's what you recommend for organizations to have. That's like the Gemini, the Copilot, that type stuff, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And again, some are a little more sophisticated than others, but they are trained to get better over time.
Okay.
And we'll get into a little bit later how those can be misused, sometimes unintentionally.
Oh my goodness.
But in any event, it is extremely important for employees to have some clarity on these AI tools and how to use them. And one of the issues could be discovery in the event that HR professionals know a lot about lawyers and EEOC and how that can become an issue later. So we'll get into that.
Stop the press.
Yes.
He said that some of the things in AI can become discoverable
Yes.
in legal proceedings. Okay, I cannot wait to get to that. We're going to come back to that. But we talked about open AI and then, closed AI. So the open AI, you were talking about maybe the chat GPTs. And go ahead, tell me more about that.
Well, one of the dangers of using an open AI system while you're at work is that you could inadvertently disclose trade secrets.
Oh, through the AI system?
Through the AI system.
Okay.
There was an issue at a large company, I won't name any names, but there was a very large company that most people have heard of that had an employee who used an open AI to ask a question, and she inadvertently provided some information to the open AI about that the company obviously wanted to keep private, and they had to literally shut the whole operation down. And needless to say, that company now has an AI policy. But in any case, it can be a little treacherous when you're using an open AI for employment purposes. So again, employees need to have some guardrails around how it's used, when it's used, and to what extent it's used. And I say to what extent it's used because there was another recent incident where a company inadvertently spent $500 million on AI. They did not realize that they were spending that much money on it. So again, companies, it's an ever-evolving landscape. But having a policy sort of sets the groundwork for building on what will hopefully be a very clear policy for employees to follow in the future.
Okay. Well, having the policy is great, but did you hear, and what you said was that it was a simple mistake by an employee that gave away trade secrets and thinking innocently that it wouldn't have any impact. So what you're saying is that it's important to have the guardrails there as that policy, how you use it, when you use it, training on it, all of those things. This is incredible. So we know there are legal issues that come up. You said it. There are legal issues, discovery, all of those things. What are some of the general best practices HR professionals can utilize to avoid these potential legal pitfalls?
Well, I think the first step is to make sure that you have the right people in the room.
Okay.
That includes having, obviously, HR professionals.
Yes.
You need to have IT professionals. And of course, you need to have legal professionals because everyone brings a different expertise that is needed in crafting your AI policy and practices for an organization, no matter how large or small. It's also important to make sure that you are monitoring how this AI tool is used, how accurate it is, how efficient it is. People talk about AI, and one of the first things that they talk about is AI taking people's jobs.
Okay,
right?
Let's talk about it.
I read a statistic recently that 45% of employees don't trust AI at all, and about 25% of employees believe that AI is going to take their job.
Yeah. And
I think it's important to understand that I don't see a world anytime in the near future where it's AI or humans. It's going to be AI and humans. And we are working together. There will be jobs in the future for people who understand and know how to use
Yes.
AI.
Yes.
So AI is not going to take your job, but it might take the job of someone who doesn't know how to use it.
So it's important that when it comes about, when your organizations start to utilize it, that you learn it and
Absolutely.
learn it and learn it to the point where it is an assistance. It's a resource, not the source of what you do.
Absolutely.
And it's interesting that you bring that up, because there are a lot of people that think AI is going to take my job.
Right.
It's going to enhance your job.
Right.
But what you say, the key is you better learn it.
Absolutely.
So you can have a job, right?
Absolutely. And what I was getting to there was one of the jobs that I believe, and actually this job already exists in some organizations, is an AI auditor or ethicist
Okay.
that looks and sees how an AI tool is being used.
Yes.
Again, how accurate it is, if it's providing reliable information that the employees can use,
Yes.
if it is actually being trained properly, if it is compliant with a lot of state and local governments now have AI laws and regulations that these AI tools have to be compliant with. So these, I think having an AI auditor or AI ethicist will be something as we progress very quickly in this new AI world. That will be something that that organizations will be looking at bringing on board, either hiring a company or firm that does that specifically, or employing an individual to take on that role.
Wow, AI auditor.
Yeah.
That's great. We're going to start seeing that HR professionals open positions for AI auditors, and they're going to ensure that we're compliant, and they monitor if the information that AI is giving you is correct. And that is so important, because you still have to check behind.
Absolutely.
And,
I think that's a very good point. One thing that AI does not do is take accountability. Unfortunately, the accountability has to fall on a human being, or an organization, or both, God forbid. So, it's important that when employees are relying on AI, that they can use it with confidence, and also understand that it is something that needs to be checked. It is something that all information that you get from it needs to be verified. It can be obviously a tool that is very useful when it comes to efficiency, but it cannot be relied on, in whole cloth. It needs to be vetted. All the information that you get from it needs to be vetted, and there need to be people who are monitoring that consistently.
I've heard my husband say about AI, and we've talked about this before, because you have to go behind it.
Right.
There was one example he gave. We are really big wrestling fans, believe it or not.
Okay.
WWE.
That is a little hard to believe, Dr. Deneen, but I have to talk to you more about that.
WWE. But he was giving an example, is that he asked AI, tell me something about Billy Graham. Okay. So it pulled up information about the religious leader, Billy Graham. But he was talking about the wrestler, Billy Graham, that was such a success years ago. So you still have to check behind it to make sure that it's giving you what you need. So you still got to have that HR expertise, right?
No doubt.
To know about these different situations, to know about FMLA,
Absolutely.
to know about the EEOC, to know about recruiting and staffing.
Absolutely.
Before you put this in place.
Absolutely. One thing that, again, AIs don't do is one thing, take accountability. And also, they don't bring nuance and empathy. And that is something that I don't believe AI will ever be able to do, at least not anytime soon. And that is the human element. Again, it's not AIs. It's not AIs or humans, it's AIs and humans. And that human element with the nuance and the empathy is very important when it comes to efficiency and trying to meet our goals, or employers meeting their goals. So yes, I totally agree with that. We need to make sure collectively that we are using AI responsibly, and that we are bringing that human element to every aspect of what we do on a daily basis.
Bringing the human element to the technology.
Absolutely.
That makes a big point. Now let's talk about how we can use AI safely in the workplace.
Okay.
And let's talk about how we can get in some trouble with that. You spoke about discovery. You spoke about misinformation. Give us an example or tell us a little bit about how we should move forward in utilizing these AI tools.
Well, the first thing that I should note is that AI, even though they may sound like a lawyer, are not lawyers.
They are not lawyers.
They're
not lawyers.
They are not lawyers. And that is an important distinction to make.
Yes.
Because when you're talking to this AI, there's no privilege.
All right.
That's very different than when you are speaking with your in-house legal counsel or outside counsel. So when you provide prompts to an AI, those prompts could potentially become discoverable.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Stop right there. What you put in the AI prompt
Absolutely
can become discoverable in some type of case or legal issue. Oh my goodness. Listen up. Tell us more about that.
Well, when you, again, have a lawyer involved, you have at least one privilege typically, as long as you are seeking legal advice or you are receiving legal advice from the attorney. It's called the attorney-client privilege.
Yes.
There's another privilege called the work product doctrine privilege, which is not as relevant, but could be.
Okay.
In any case, when you are speaking to an AI about a question that you might otherwise ask your lawyer, you have to be aware that not only is the prompt, but potentially the answer too, could be found out in the event that perhaps you're asking about a particular employee.
Yes.
That employee ends up bringing a claim.
Okay.
And the lawyer who represents that employee could ask you about what you ask your AI chatbot.
Oh my goodness.
Typically in litigation, back in the day, and I say back in the day, meaning like last year.
All right.
Most of the time when we would send out discovery, you ask for social media, text messages, phone calls, voicemails, those sorts of things from the other side. But now what is becoming increasingly popular is for attorneys to also ask for information related to chatbots. And it doesn't matter whether you use them on your own personal device or you're using maybe even your work phone. It could still be discoverable if what you are asking it, either if your attorney is not present or your attorney has not advised you to do this. And most of the attorneys would not advise you to do that.
Okay.
But in any case, it could be discoverable. I think I gave you an example earlier where you might have an employee who is of a particular race, or perhaps they have a particular disability, and you ask the chatbot, hey, we really want to get rid of this person because of fill in the blank, but we don't really have any documents, ChatGPT or Claude or what have you. What should I do? Give me some tips on how we can justify a termination.
Yes.
Well, that could, just the prompt itself.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, could be discoverable. So you have to be very, very careful about that. I think there's another example when it comes to disability discrimination, or request for reasonable accommodation, to be more specific, where you could have an employee who has requested a reasonable accommodation, and you might ask the chatbot, give me 5 ways that we could accommodate this employee. You feed it all the information that it needs, and you say, now, based on that information, what are 5 ways we could accommodate this employee? And if it gives you 5 ways you could accommodate the employee, and you don't follow up on that, guess what? Now you've got 5 ways you could accommodate that employee. And if you never engage in an interactive process with that employee, or you didn't follow up to see whether or not those particular suggestions would cause an undue hardship, then you might be in a little bit of a pickle. So just be very careful about using the AI tools when it comes to legal questions that you really should be asking your in-house counsel or outside attorneys.
Wow. So in that example, for instance, you said the five accommodations, right?
Sure.
So the HR person looked it up. What are 5 accommodations? AI gave it to them, right?
Right.
But then, say for instance, their boss, they take it to their boss, and their boss says, "No, I don't want to do this at all."
Yeah.
What happens in that situation when the plaintiff's attorney gets a hold to that information?
Well, a lot could happen. But I think in that circumstance, once you've asked that question, again, it's out there.
Yes.
Once it's out there, you can't take it back.
Yeah.
Even though you may have some sort of setup on your particular device that erases prompts, trust me, it's in the ether. They can. The plaintiff's lawyer could subpoena it from the company and learn what you ask it. So once it's out there, you can't take it back.
Yeah.
And so with that in mind, what you should do is make sure that you follow up on the information that you get.
Okay.
So if you do get the 5 suggestions, for example, and you do take it to your manager, and your manager says, "No, we're not going to do these. We're not going to do these." You need to be able to say, "Okay, well, we need to have some documentation that we followed up on these suggestions, and that they're going to cause an undue hardship, or they are otherwise impractical for us to carry out." And you need to make sure that you document that. So in the event that that information is discovered during the discovery process, you also have documentation to back it up and say, "That's why these 5 things didn't work."
Okay. Wow. So here's some examples of how AI can sometimes not work to your advantage, but it can sometimes work to your advantage, right?
Absolutely.
If you're giving it information and you're asking about, for instance, a claim, and you're the HR and you're investigating a claim, and you talk to AI about it, and it gives you back that information that you use. That could be used also as showing in a legal perspective, showing that you took action, right?
Absolutely.
And you did do something to investigate that claim.
Absolutely. You could ask it, again, I would always do this in consultation with the attorney.
Yes.
Always make sure your counsel is involved.
Yes.
But in any case, if you were to ask an AI tool, what are the best ways to engage in the interactive process? In other words, what are the best ways to make sure that we are legally compliant?
Yes.
And that we turn over every stone as it relates to, in this context, the ADA.
All right.
It can show that you took the necessary steps to, again, engage in the interactive process and do what you needed to do in order to be legally compliant with the statute. So in that context, absolutely, you need to be able to show that you investigated certain things, whether it be a discrimination or retaliation claim, or if it's a request for reasonable accommodation.
Okay.
Again, there are boxes that you need to check, and if you could potentially use that information to show that you check those boxes.
Okay. Wow. I tell you, we're getting some information here. Listen, how much do you charge to give this information?
For free to you, Dr.
Okay, all right. Well, you have it here on Let's Talk HR with Dr. Deneen. Now, I want to turn it a little bit because you're going to have to come back to us. But let's talk about DEI.
Yes.
And what some of the implications are with that. It's been in the headlines. So I want you to set the record straight. Are DEI policies illegal?
I have another short answer for you. Yes. No, I'm kidding. Actually, DEI policies are not per se illegal.
All right.
they are a little treacherous at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be very careful and make sure that you have legal involved when it comes to instituting these policies.
Okay.
And most of the time,
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Deneen, it's not necessarily the policy
Okay.
as much as it is the practice and how things are carried out
Oh, okay.
when it comes to DEI. I think the overarching theme when you are approaching DEI in 2026 should be that you are not necessarily trying to increase diversity, but you are trying to prevent discrimination.
Okay.
You want to cast a wide net.
Yes.
As long as everyone has an equal opportunity,
Yes.
then you usually don't run into any problems.
Mm-hmm.
So to be very, very clear, DEI is not per se illegal,
Okay.
but you want to be very careful when it comes to implementing certain programs.
Mm-hmm.
Examples include certain mentorship programs
Okay.
or leadership pipelines or programs related to compensation
Okay.
that take membership in a protected class into account at all. You want to steer clear of any policy or practice where someone's membership in a protected class could give them a leg up in some way.
Yeah.
Whether it be some sort of point system that you have in place,
Mm-hmm.
or you might just have a program that is specifically for a particular group.
Okay.
You want to ex-nay that
Mm-hmm.
if you haven't already, as soon as possible.
Mm-hmm.
You want to make sure that you are just casting a very wide net,
Mm-hmm.
and that everyone has an opportunity, and that there aren't any specific memberships that are given some sort of preference
Okay.
when it comes to any opportunity in the workplace.
So I guess the point there is inclusiveness.
Absolutely.
Has to be the key in your practices, in your policies, and the way you do business.
No doubt.
I tell you what, if you have any questions, you need to call him. Call him.
Only you get the discount, Dr.
Only I get the discount. Only I get the discount. But we've learned so much today that you have to come back and do a part two.
All right. Glad to.
On this, because these are issues that we are facing day to day, and we need to be up on what we need to do at that time. Thank you so much for coming in today.
Pleasure's mine.
I
Thank you.
appreciate you so much.
Absolutely.
Wow. As we conclude today's discussion, one thing is clear. The rules of HR are changing, but the mission remains the same, supporting people while helping organizations succeed. The rise of artificial intelligence, the ongoing evolution of diversity, equity, and inclusion efforts, and the need for thoughtful, defensible decision-making are reshaping HR professionals and how we operate each day. The organizations that will strive will be those that will do this: embrace innovation, remain compliant, lead with integrity, and make decisions grounded in fairness, consistency, and sound practices. Be sure to watch a new episode of Let's Talk HR with Dr. Deneen, the first of every month on the YouTube channel of the same name and on Comcast Xfinity, channel 17 and 1091, Monday nights at 8 p.m. Please note, you can watch Let's Talk HR with Dr. Deneen and prior episodes anytime. Go to YouTube and type in the talk show title. Be sure to subscribe, no fee, and click on the notification bell. This is HR TV. I'm Dr. Deneen, and I want to talk HR with you. HR forever. See you next time.